We have already seen the solution to harmonic oscillator problem using a ladder operator. In this class, we are going to find the solution to harmonic oscillator using analytic method. Here we are going to use, I am going to explain in a very simple manner, that is, I am going to use less mathematics and more concept about this method. We know the time independent Schrodinger equation is minus h cross squared over 2m t2 psi over tx2 plus of m omega squared x squared psi. This is the of m omega squared x squared is the potential energy of the harmonic oscillator. It is well known one, which is equal to E psi. Now I am going to make a dimensionless quantity, that is a dimensionless parameter. You know the importance of dimensionless parameter. It is easy to operate, and we also expand using it in power series. So Z is equal to square root of m omega over h cross x. The square root term is having the unit of 1 over length. X is having unit of length. So naturally this is dimensionless. Then what about x? X is equal to, you bring the square root term to the other side. Then x will become square root of h cross over m omega z. So if you find t by tx, if you differentiate t by tx is equal to, remember that this will become inverse. So square root of m omega over h cross t over tz. Similarly, if you take again tx by uh, t by tx, it will become t2 over tx2. Then you have to take square of this. Then this will become m omega over h cross, and this will be t2 over tz2. Now we will continue our lecture. Just now we have seen x is equal to square root of h cross over m omega z. And also we have seen t2 over tx2 is equal to m omega over h cross t2 over t psi 2. We know the time independent Schrodinger wave equation is h cross squared over 2m t2 psi over tx2 plus of m omega squared x squared psi, which is equal to E psi. Now you replace x and t2 over tx2 in this time independent Schrodinger wave equation. First you replace this t2 over tx2, which is equal to m omega over h cross. You keep minus h cross squared over 2m as it is. Then this will become m omega over h cross t2 over tz2. So of course we have psi here. Similarly, what is x? X is x squared. I am replacing by just you square it. If you square it, the square root will get removed. Then you will get h cross over m omega. This z will become z squared, which is equal to E psi. Now we can cancel some of the term. So here you can cancel these two, that is this square with this h cross. So similarly this m with this m. Similarly this m omega squared with this m omega, which will become just omega. So now you can see here you have minus 1 over 2. Here you have 2 h cross omega t2 psi over tz2. Similarly here you have 1 over 2 and h cross omega. All other things get cancelled. Of course you have z squared psi, which is equal to E psi. Now we will further simplify this. So we have seen minus 1 over 2 h cross omega t2 psi over t z2 plus half h cross omega z squared psi, which is equal to e psi. Now you uh, divide this divide pi minus h cross omega, pi minus h cross omega, both right side and the left side. So if you divide it, then first term will be uh, 1 over 2, because h cross omega will get cancelled with this h cross omega, and minus will get cancelled with this minus. Then next, this h cross omega will get cancelled here, because we are dividing by minus h cross omega. Then this plus will become minus of z squared psi. Then here also minus e over h cross omega psi. So now what we are going to do is, you bring this to the other side. That is, you bring this to the right hand side. This minus will become plus. So before that, you multiply everything by 2. This 2 will get cancelled. First you do that. That is, you multiply by 2. 2, 2, 2. So this will become 1 naturally. This is 1. Uh, this is also 1. And you bring this term, that is z squared psi to the right hand side. This is minus z squared psi. So this will become t2 psi over t z2, which is equal to this term, z squared psi minus 2 times e by e over h cross omega. Notice that this is also dimensionless quantity, because numerator having energy, denominator also having the unit of energy. This is also dimensionless quantity. So we can bring psi outside. So this will become z squared minus 2 epsilon. I am going to keep this as epsilon. So here you can see z is equal to square root of m omega over h cross squared multiplied by x. When x is very large, x is very large, then what will happen? This will be very high. Z squared is very high, and epsilon, you can ignore this. You can neglect this. So you can neglect this. Yeah, because comparing sigma, z squared is very higher at longer distance. So then you can rewrite this expression, t2 psi over tz2 is equal to, approximately equal to z squared psi, which can be written as with some constant. We have some constant naturally. If you solution to this equation is that is psi of z is equal to h h of z e power minus z squared over 2. This is the constant, integral constant. You have to integrate it. This t2 psi over tc squared. Then this I am going to replace for nth state. Psi n z is approximately equal to h sub n z e power minus c squared over 2, where this h n is Hermite polynomial for nth state. Hermite polynomial. So this is the wave function. Then we will move further. We got the nth state wave function as a function of z is equal to h sub n of z e power minus z squared over 2. Now we can see some of the physical concept of Hermite polynomial. This Hermite polynomial basically encodes the oscillatory part of the wave function, and degree n correspond to the quantum number, that is number of nodes, zero crossing. I will explain what is zero crossing in due course of this lecture. And the energy level E sub n is equal to n plus of h cross omega, and you can see there is a Gaussian term. So this is Gaussian envelope which provides the exponential decay and also ensure that wave function goes to zero at infinite, making it normalizable. So since it's a Gaussian function, exponential term is Gaussian, so at infinite distance this is fixed, so you can normalize this. And this Hn is available as a table, that is H0 is equal to 1, H1 is equal to 2z, it will go on. So you can have the table for this H sub n. Of course, we can also derive it, but that involves some mathematical complications, so I am not going to do it. Just I am giving the idea what is physics behind it. And then why this form is important, that is Hermite form multiplied by the Gaussian exponential term which is Gaussian in nature. This product structure ensures the bound state with finite probability. That is very important point. Without this exponential part, Hn of psi would diverge as f z tends to infinite. Because this is power series, so this will keep on increasing. That is diverging as z tends to 0. Sorry, infinite. But there is a term, Gaussian term, which restrict that it will not go diverse. So it will take a Gaussian shape. The Gaussian dominant for large z, suppressing the polynomial growth. That is another very important reason. So psi n of z is equal to hn of z e power minus z squared over 2. Though this is this involves the diverging nature, this will restrict your. Then this can be written as, this is not a normalized. If you want to normalize it, then you have to multiply by normalization constant of nth state. This also I will explain. Just I am going to explain what is normalization constant with respect to nth state. So this is unnormalized wave function. This is normalized wave function. So we got psi sub n of x. In the previous slide, I forgot to mention this point. That is, it's a function of x, not a function of z. So psi n of x is equal to n sub n h sub n of z e power minus z squared over 2. And after introducing the normalization constant, here the normalization constant for ground state energies we have solved in so many problems. A naught is equal to m omega over pi h cross power 1 over 4. This is for ground state. If see, for example, and for nth state, a naught multiplied by this thing, that is 1 over square root of 2n over n factorial. Let us say this n is ground state, for ground state. 2 power 0 is 1 and 0 factorial also 1. So this will become 1. Simply this will become a naught. When n tends to higher value, then this total combined normalization will be different. So it depends upon the nth state. So with that, I will go to the diagram and I explain the same. So I have drawn the wave function versus x versus the wave function and modulus x versus probability density, and I want to explain the zero crossing. What is zero crossing? I have mentioned earlier. So if you draw the x versus wave function, when n is equal to 0, you will get a Gaussian function. After all, this is a constant and this Gaussian function will. Of course, we have Hermite polynomial. We have seen for h0, h0, it is also 1. So this will be simply the exponential term. So if you square it, you will get like this. So here there is no zero crossing. Then when n is equal to 1, you have this wave pattern like this. That is x versus the wave function. And if you square it, you will get like this. Then here you have 1 0 crossing. That is this wave probability density comes to 0 and again goes up. So this is called zero crossing. Similarly, we are going to see if n equal to 2, we will get 2 0 crossing. N equal to 3, we will get 3 0 crossing. When n equal to 2, the x versus the wave function psi of x is like this. The probability density is, if you square it, you will get like this. So here you have 2 0 crossing. At the 2 place it crosses the 0. Then if n equal to 3, you will get a wave function like this. And if you square it, you will get the wave pattern like this, where you have 3 0 crossing. When n equal to 3, you will have 3 0 crossing. Thank you very much for watching my videos and supporting me continuously. Don't forget to subscribe my channel in order to get the update. Thank you very much.